Hello. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, all.
Good morning, Mr. Doctor.
Hello. Good morning, all. Can you hear me? Good
Yeah, I can
morning.
hear
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. I want to welcome you to the Neiti NAMS Neiti Audit Management System unveiling, which will taking place today. We are supposed to have taken the event should have taken place last week, but because of the event that happened, we had to postpone it to today. On behalf of management and staff of Neiti, I want to welcome each and every one of you here to this unique milestone occasion. Would have started with introduction, but I think everybody can see the platform. We have about 60, close to 70 participants. So we'll just try to wrap it up as soon as possible so that we'll be able to finish up and then you can go to your other functions. Thank you very much. I think we need to put up the program on stream. Shegun? Hello? Okay, let me share my screen so that I can have the program on. Okay, the program will start by an opening remark by the ES. We will welcome you all formally, and then we'll have a good message from our key stakeholders, from which we have them on board here. That's from company for OPTS and then Ford Foundation. Over to you, sir. Yes, for your opening remark. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I believe you can hear me. And please, anyone that is not speaking for now, can you please kindly mute your video and your audio. We're glad to see your very beautiful and lovely faces. But let's see how we can manage the bandwidth. So thank you very much. Welcome to this very, very important event. I want to thank all of you for finding the time to join and to be part of this. So thank you. Welcome. That's the first part. The second part is to also thank you all. Special gratitude for the roles that you have played in getting us to where we are today. Special gratitude to all the covered entities, both on government side and on the company side. Without you and without your support, without your input, we wouldn't have come this far. Also, special gratitude to OPTS and also to Development Gateway, our technical partners, and to Ford Foundation that provided the funding for Development Gateway to work with us to develop this platform. And also, my special gratitude to the team. We have an automation team in-house. They did the heavy lifting. So many boring things that they had to do, so many minutes, so many meetings and other things like that. I'm very grateful to them, and on behalf of the management and staff and the board of Neiti, I thank them, I thank all of you, and I welcome everyone to this occasion. What we're doing today is long overdue and has been long in the works. You recollect that all over the world, the trend has been transitioned from analog, to digital, from traditional to modern, from manual to virtual. So this is a trend that has been going on for upward of like 50 plus years. But in the past 2-3 decades, it picked pace. And because people are not doing that because, okay, the technology is available, we have to use the technology. They are doing the migration because of the gains that come with using deploying these tools for our various work. Gains in terms of cost, in terms of speed, in terms of ease, also in terms of security. And also, if anybody was in doubt that we needed to deploy technology for interface to do many things that we ordinarily do face-to-face or manually, the experience of COVID-19 shouldn't leave anybody in doubt. Look at this meeting, for example. Ordinarily, without COVID-19, I would have done this early. But COVID-19 also forced us to see the possibility out there and to see that, what can go on, and possibly, at cheaper cost, at more convenience. Imagine if we're doing this in Abuja and all of you have to come to Abuja, you have to fly, you have to stay in a hotel, you have to, and all those things. So this is, it's not just that this aligns with the moment. This is something that aligns with the spirit of the times. Beyond COVID-19, the trend globally has been transition to the digital. And like I said, not because the technologies are there and we have to help those who develop the technologies to sell their products, but because it makes sense. And this, has not been lost on us too as an organization, and with you, our partners. Recall that in 2014 we started this project. That's why I said this project has been long in the works. We started it in 2014. We got support from World Bank. We did needs assessment, that surfaced, why, that made a business case for why we need to deploy technology. And we also did technical assessment, to see what do we need to put in place, how do we need to go about it. And we worked on this project, but for one reason or the other, it got stalled around 2015, 2016. But we came back to it in 2018. And precisely in November 2018, the process started all over again with Ford supporting Development Gateway to work with us, and Development Gateway deploying their team to come to Nigeria and do consultation with stakeholders, and all of that. So we're here today. It's taking about 6 years. If you go back to 2014 and possibly maybe before 2014, because before you start doing things, before you start getting donor support, there's a process to that. Even when you say it's 2 years in the works, the good thing is that we're bringing it to closure today. And I want to thank all of you. I want to congratulate all of you. And I think this is something that all of us should be very proud of. What we are presenting today, like any product, would not be a perfect product. It will be a work in progress. But please don't let us make the perfect the enemy of the good. Let's embrace this. Let's use it, and let's jointly discover the areas for improvement, and let's jointly improve on them. So basically, some people talk about automation, and it's a fancy word, and it's a word that people throw around a lot. But basically, what are we automating? This is just a platform, and a platform that we have developed together to help us to submit our audit data. You remember that we send you templates that you fill, whether you are government or you are companies. You fill it manually or semi-manually. You send the templates to us, and we also process this and work with our auditor and all of that. So basically, what we are doing is we're providing a platform, a web-enabled platform that you can use to submit your templates on the go. That's more secure. In addition to the fact that you can submit, you can also harvest it electronically, digitally, or virtually. This platform also allows us to do some kind of aggregation, some kind of initial validation, and some initial reconciliation. So like I said in the statement we issued yesterday, this is a win-win. It's a win-win for all of us. It will save you time, it will save you cost, it will you can be doing this thing every month or every quarter, You don't have to wait and to the end of the year, and you don't have to stop other things that you are doing because you want to attend to the needs of Neiti. And it's also good for us, for obvious reasons. So in terms of next steps, what are we doing next after this? It's good to launch a product, but that is not enough. We're not just doing a show where we want a situation where people we can use this and we can use it effectively. So if you, as will be told shortly, we focus on the priority templates for now for the purposes of this event. There are still a few other templates, so we'll continue to work on those ones. And between now and mid this month or thereabouts, we're going to complete those ones. The second thing we're going to do in terms of next steps is that we're going to have a workshop for designated persons in each organization. And as the next, when they are through, they're going to tell us about this. There will be designated persons that will play different roles. The role of administrator, the role of data entry person, and the role of editor or approver. And this is to ensure that the platform is secure and there's enough control. So after we have done that workshop, then we're going to open the platform for use, and we're going to use it 2020 oil and gas audit. We're starting with oil and gas, and we're starting with 2020. So what this means is that by the time we open this, hopefully by the first week of December 2020, and by that time we'll have done the consultations, we'll have done the workshops, and all of that. That means that whatever information that you have for 2020, you can start putting them, you can start uploading them. And our hope is that by first quarter of 2021, at most, all the data for 2020 will be in. Some other things we can follow up, AFS and all of that, we can follow up with you. So to conclude, I want to thank you again. This is something that we have done collaboratively. We didn't just do it and say, okay, guys, this is what you need to use now. We consulted with you in 2016, series of consultation. Also in 2018, we started the consultation. In July this year, we made a presentation to all the companies to say, see, this is what we're going to be using. This is what we've revamped this, and look at it. And we walk you through that. We'll also, between July and August, we send it to you to say, please don't just listen to us, please review it, give us your inputs, and you gave us your inputs and we incorporated the inputs. And your inputs and inputs are being incorporated in the product that we're unveiling today. So like I said, please, this is not, a lot of work has gone into this. There's room for the improvement. There will always be room for improvement, but let's do the improvement together, because this is something that will make life easier for everybody. A lot of work has gone into this. Please, let's make it work and let's make it count. Thank you so much and welcome again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, sir, for these wonderful opening remarks and for all the remarks you've made to all our stakeholders and the process that we've started and how we are here now. We want to thank you, sir, for that. The next step, like the ES had said, we had some partners that had helped in participating in developing this process with us. We have two stakeholders that will give us a remark on this. We invite Vanessa from Ford Foundation or Development Gateway to please give us their remark on this. Thank you very much. Hello, Vanessa, can you hear us? Hello? Hello? Okay, maybe since she's not on board, we can have OPTS, since he's here already. You can give us your remarks, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Wood.
Dita, you need to unmute Vanessa, but in the interim, let's Mr. Toyobo go ahead. You need to unmute her from your end.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'll do that, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, Dita.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. We can hear you now.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for coming, although virtually. I'd like to express an appreciation to the Executive Secretary of Neiti, Waziri Adio, who is a good friend of mine, and who I also admire all the efforts, all the work he's done with Neiti. I represent OPTS, which stands for All Producers Trade Section of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Our organization is made up of about 30 oil and gas companies in Nigeria, from Shell, Chevron, ExxonMobil, to Total, to First E&P, Engineers Companies, NDPR, Wando, and we contribute about 90% of the oil revenue to this country. From the Neiti perspective, I'd like to congratulate Neiti on what they've done on NAMS, because the work that was being done previously was done manually. And now with the ability to be able to do this in an automated fashion, will make things work efficiently, a lot better than that's been done in the past. In the past, been through manual work, or electronic emails and stuff like that. But the way to now efficiently do this electronically will save time, will save cost, and will also make things work more seamlessly in terms of integration with the native process. So I'd like to really congratulate the team for an excellent job well done in putting this together. And I'm sure as we continue to build on the success of Neiti right now, there will be other innovations that will come to play in future. As the ES said, assuming this was last year, we probably have met in Abuja together. The huge cost in terms of transportation, flight tickets and hotel bookings. But right now we're doing this virtually, which is saving us a lot of cost, apart from data cost, which is very small. And I'd like to thank Neiti once again for a job well done in putting this together. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Pat. Thank you very much for your comments. We always appreciate your commitment to native activities as part of OPTS. You're one of the drivers of this process. We started with you people, and got as part of native family, we've seen this to conclusion. We appreciate you, sir. Vanessa, let me unmute you so that we can just have you done to have your.
Hello? Can you
Yeah,
hear
we can
me?
hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
You didn't want me to talk, huh? That's why you muted me. Thank you very much and sorry about earlier. It was just a small technical issue. So I wanted to start first by seconding what Waziri already said, and really thank the Neiti team, with a special thanks to the Automation Committee, really for being a great partner to work with. And what we mean by great partner is not only have they demonstrated strong knowledge of the sector and the stakes, but it was easy to work for them because they really know what they wanted, and they were really clear on the objective that they wanted to achieve. So that made our life a little easier. And as said in the opening remarks, though we are the provider of this tool, we do understand and we do account for the fact that it is not perfect. We tried to make it usable, to make it user friendly, in order to support you in the work that you're doing in disclosing your data in compliance with the EITI standards. But there is still room for improvement. So we are open to receive your feedback, and please let Neiti know if there is anything that we can do to improve this tool further, and to make it even more useful. We are definitely open to receiving this feedback from Neiti and from the other stakeholders as well. So, and thank you, Neiti, for giving us also the opportunity to work with you on this tool, and hope that you will enjoy it as much as we did, even with all the challenges. That you will enjoy it as much as we did when we were developing it. So thank you, and back to you, Dieter. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa, for that. Thank you very much for your comment. You've been quite helpful. That leaks all through the time we've been sending you emails and all the conversations that we've had. You've been very, very helpful, and this is something we're both proud of. Like you said, there's room for improvement. We continue to work at the back end to see that we have a system that's perfect. The next stage now is for us to have one of our persons, our oil and gas officer, Abdul Minami, to take us through the platform itself, so that we can be able to see what it's all about. Thank you very much. Abdul, over to you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Abdul. On behalf of everyone, I'll answer you. Thank you. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much. So, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdul Mumin Abubakar from Neiti. I'm going to run us through the platform. And to commence, I'm going to run us through the component that deals with the entities, that is the oil and gas companies and the government agencies that collect revenues on behalf of government from the... Hello, can you hear me, everyone?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, okay, so I'm going to run it from the end of the user of the platform. So in this instance, it is the oil and gas companies and the government agencies that collect whatever revenue or information the oil and gas companies produce from the activities they do within the sector. So as the executive secretary has said earlier, and based on all the interactions we have had in the past, we have shared the tool with the companies at some point in time during the course of development and have asked for feedback. And so today we're going to restrict it basically to the bit that deals with how the company will take control of their end of the activity. So for example, now, we're going to use a company, ADAX Exploration Development Nigeria Limited, APDNL, as the company we're going to use for example. So the admin for ADAX Petroleum Development Nigeria Limited is going to be initially created by Neiti. In the process of that creation, there will be option for the admin when he is logging in at the very first instance to change the username and password for his entity, so that the control of what he does from his own end will be completely domiciled with him and his company or the agency of government he so represents. But in this case, because we are using ADAX as an example, we have created a admin functionality for ADAX. And we're going to use this admin functionality to create the subsequent users that are going to be responsible for either uploading information on the platform, those are termed the editors, or approving the information whoever within their systems upload on the platform, those are called the approvers. So I am going to proceed from there. So here you will impute the user ID, the name that has been used to create the admin on the side of ADAX in this instance, and the password. When that happens, you log onto the system. So this is the first page the admin for ADAX is going to meet. So he's going to meet this page that will show these two elements. So configure system settings and data entry. So of interest to us in this instance, because the admin is going to be responsible for giving access, creating and giving access to users within his organization. So he will create the data editor, that is the person or group of persons responsible for uploading information on the platform, and he's going to create the approver. So someone within their system, they have given the task of confirming all the information supplied from within their system before it eventually arrives at the doorstep of Neiti. So the admin of either the government agency or the oil company will go here, and they will see this tab called users. So this is where the admin is going to see all the information about who is on the platform from their own end. So he will create the users he wants to, based on whatever decision has happened within their system, the users they want to create in their system. So this is the admin that has been created on the system. So you can see his name here, full, Omowumi Hassan. He represents, the username is admin APDNL. Then there's options for edit and there are options for revision. And this is the tool keeps an audit IT trail of all the changes and movements that has happened on the platform, so that if there's a need to check for anything sometime in the future, you can just come here and you'll see a log of all the revisions and edits that has happened on the platform throughout the any period in time. So for the purposes of creating a user on the platform,
Mr. Momi, this page is not changing on our screen. No, this page is not changing. What we still having here is user ID and user password. All we are saying, we can't see it, please. So that we can be following what you are saying.
Beside yourself, is any other one having the same challenge?
Yes, we are not seeing everything static. Nothing is changing.
Yes, a whole lot of work cannot see.
Okay, hold
Yeah,
on.
the same problem from here too.
We're not seeing anything.
Hello? Yeah, we're trying to sort it out. Its system is frozen, I think, with the internet.
Hello, can you see the platform now?
Yes, we can see this new page, but I would suggest you just start all over again so that you don't get missing.
Yes, I want to ensure that everybody is seeing the page, so that I'll go 2 steps back.
Okay, can go step back.
Okay. So, can I start from here or go to the very beginning?
Go to the very beginning, Mr. Momi.
User ID.
User ID.
No problem. I'm going back there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sirs. So I'll log out and log in again. So this is where you start from.
Fantastic.
You log in. Are we together?
Go ahead.
Yes, we can see. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Exactly. So when you log in, you will meet these 2 tabs. There's the configure system setting tab and there's the data entry tab. Of concern to us, of concern to the admin in either the government agency or the oil producing company, is this tab. Here you will create users and take out users and attach templates to users. This is where you do all of that. So when you get to the tab, you click on users. So you arrive here. This is the page where you will see the list of all the users as it relates to your entity. So if you are an oil and gas company, you will see the list of all the persons that have been created on your platform. If you are a government agency, you will see the list of all the users that have been created on your platform. So here you will have these tabs. There's the edit tab and there's the revisions tab. The edit tab will give you the option to make edits to the information you already have on the users from your own end as the administrator of the platform from your organization. And the revisions keep a trail, an IT trail of all the changes and activities that have happened on the platform over time. So for this exercise, we are going to create users. So we are going to create an editor who is a data entry person and an approver who approves the data or information hosted on the platform by the editor. And I want to state here that you can create as many users as you want. There's no limit to that. So if, for example, your operations are scattered in different directions and the people responsible for example, providing royalty information, taxes, production volumes, and whatnot are in different locations, you can create these users and they would have access to the platform from their different locations and they will upload information from their own end and submit to you. Then the approver on your end will look at the information that has been hosted or uploaded on the platform by your editors and take it forward from there. So we are going to create two users now. We're going to create an editor who is a data entry person and an approver who approved the information the data entry person has done. Can we progress?
Yes, please. Yes, sir. You can progress.
So here you will create. So here you'll select the organization in question. Are you selecting an extractive company, which is an oil and gas company or a government agency? And the third option is for the independent reconciler or auditor in our own case. So, but for this exercise, we are creating for companies. So you pick company as the organization, the group, then the role you're trying to create. So you see you have the editor role, you have the approval role, and you have the entity admin role. But in this instance, we are creating an editor who is a data entry person. So you click on that. Then you create the password that you want to create for the user. So as I was saying earlier on, you have the option of enabling change password at first sign in. So for example, when you're creating the editor and you want him to change his password immediately after he logs into the platform the first time, you will enable this button. And that will happen when he tries to log in because you would share the initial username and password with him. Then he would have the option of making those changes when he logs in initially. But in this instance, that's what we want to do. So we create the password. Can everyone hear me, please?
Can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So
Go ahead. You can hear you.
All right.
Can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So when you do that, okay. So when the admin in the organization is creating the editor, they will select the templates that applies to the editor. Say, for example, as I said earlier on, if you have staff scattered all in different locations and with different responsibilities, and you want them to be able to log onto the platform and upload information, you will either attach, you have the option of attaching a single template to them or multiple templates or all. So you can attach either a single template or all the templates or multiple templates, as the case may be. So in this instance, we are applying all the templates to the editor. This is just for example purposes. But you can attach only one template to the editor, or you can attach multiple templates to the editor, or you can attach all templates to the editor. And this is dependent on the type of operation or activity you have. So after that, you will save this information. Oh, sorry. I forgot to. So you'll do this and you'll save this information. So the first user has been created under the circumstances. So when you come here, you will see the user. You'll see the user. So the user is rewriting or editing if there is a need for that. So you have created the first user, and the first user is a data entry person. We call him editor on the platform. Then in the second instance, you're going to create an approver. So you will fill the information just the same format you used in filling the information. So you will do you go through the process, fill in the information for email. The group, as I said earlier on, you select the group that is relevant to you and the role. So in this instance, we have created an editor in the first instance. So now we'll create an approver. So you click on this, then you impute the password. And you repeat. Then you either select a single template, or you select all the templates, or you select multiple templates for the platform. When you do that, you will save that. So if there's any error on the platform or you missed any information, it will prompt you and take you back to the place you have the error, and you'll correct the error and continue. So now you can see that we have created 2 users on the platform aside the admin himself. So this is the information for the admin, and these are the 2 users that have been created. So now we'll log out of this and go to the space where the editor in this instance has been created. And the name of the editor is...
Hello? Hey, please tell Dieter to call me. I've been calling his number.
Hello, we can hear you, sir.
Oh, sorry.
So you log in with the username and password that you have created. And this is the landing page for the data entry person in the organization as created by the admin of the organization. So when you get here, you click on this tab. It opens, and the landing page you would arrive at will be the page that will show you information that is already on the platform or not. But in this instance, because we have not created any information on the platform, no data has been uploaded on the platform, the landing page has no information. So for you to start accessing the templates that have been attached to the editor or data entry person in this instance, you will click on the new tab. You will select the audit year in question. In this instance, we're going to use 2020 as an example. Then you click next. Then it will ask you activity phase. Production is already attached here because we have the understanding is that the most of the companies covered under the audits are under this phase. Then you pick production, but there are other options as well. Then you click next. Then the license, in this instance, we have already created using APDNL, Adax Petroleum Development Nigeria Limited RC number, their CAC registration number as the license. Then you pick the license, because when all the information is updated, you will see a host of licenses. Or if you have more than one license, for example, but that's not the, we've not come across a case like that. Then you click next. Then contract type. So is it a sole risk or marginal field? Is it a service contract? Is it a JV or a PSC? In this instance, APDNL is a PSC. So you pick PSC as the option. Then you click next. Then you click next. So it will ask you the templates you want to start population. So here you will have a drop down of all the templates you want to populate that have been given to you by your admin. So if he has given you access to all the templates, you see all of them. But if he has given you access to only one or two, because those are the ones that are relevant to you, you will see that as well. Then you select that template, then you click finish. Finish will be after you've selected all the options that have been earlier stated. So when you do that, you will arrive at this page. And the top part of the page will give you information about that you have already populated before you arrived here. So you'll see information about the organization, you'll see information about the audit year, you'll see activity phase, you see license ID, you see contract type, and you see the templates on which, or the template you want to fill information about. So you will click on this blue tab, add new, and it will provide you with the space to fill in the information that relates to the royalty payment for the month of, for example, January. So here, and when you arrive here, so this is what it will look like when the field for collecting the information opens. So you see OML. Then you see year to which payment relates. Then you see transaction ID, and this will has a question mark sign that explains the type of information expected to be provided within this tab. Then you see transaction dates, you see amount and currency, and you see other notes. So if there are any other explanations you feel you will provide that would add, that will support the information you are providing, you can type it in here. Then if you need to upload documents, for example, receipts, Swift codes, or any other document that supports the data you have provided, there's the option for you to upload or attach that document here. So let's start from the beginning. So for OML, I'll just use 112, for example. Then for year for which payment relates is 2020. Transaction ID, I'll just use 10-10-10. Then the dates. So this is the date when the payment was actually made for that, for example, for the royalty. So you click January 1st, 2020, for example. Then the amount paid. So you type in the amount. And this will be based on the information you have from the hard documents at your disposals or the soft documents that have been given to you for any payment or for any fee you have paid or for any production volumes that has been established in the fields. So if there are any other notes, you provide them here. And if you have supporting documents, you add them here. When you do all of that, you will add the information. So notice that once you do that, this would appear. So you will have the information you have provided, the first information you have provided appearing at the top of the page. So what you will do is you can continue adding all the information. So for example, in this instance, royalty being a monthly kind of revenue or payment from companies, you will do this every month, or you can wait and do it after every 3 months or after every 6 months. That will be discussed subsequently. But this gives you the option to do it every month. Immediately the payments are made for royalty payments, for example, you can immediately just log on and impute all the information from your own end, and then just and leave it. Then the next month you'll do the same thing. Then the next month you'll do the same thing. So when you want to add another one, you'll just go down and you still have add. Then this add button, you'll do the same. You'll just repeat the same process again. So there's a royalty oil general ledger control summary down here. So this part will not be filled until the end of the year. So until after you have collected all the information or uploaded all the information on the platform, that's when you are going to fill in this part. So in the interim, you'll just fill the information. If, say, for example, you're providing the information in January, so you'll just put 000 on the platform. Then wait till December, for example, when you're imputing the last set of information. That's when you will look at all these components and fill them up with the required information. So after that, you have the portion that asks you if you have financial statements. Do you have financial statements include any provision? Does your financial statement include any provision for royalty liabilities that are not reflected in the summary? So if that is the case, you'll either activate this tab or no. So you'll just respond to all the questions appropriately. So that would happen. So when you do all of that, you can submit the information that has already been collected. Okay, so some fields are. So this is, you submit the information collected. So this is on the side of the data entry person. This, oh, sorry, excuse me. So when you do all of that, this information will be domiciled on the platform, but still on the side of the company or government agency that is providing the information until the approver from their own end looks at the information and okays it and approves it. So this is what will happen. So from the government side, so because we are imputing information for the oil company in this instance, so from the government side, DPR in this instance would provide a corroborating information from their own side about APDNL for royalty payments for the month of January. And the system will reconcile the information provided by the company and the government agency after each of the parties has uploaded and sent in and approved the information from their own ends to Neiti's end. So the information will aggregate all the data uploaded on the platform by each party and reconcile the information initially. And where there is any discrepancy, for example, if the information for royalty payment for the month of January is 10 million, for example, and from DPR's end, we have 9 million or 8 million, the system will highlight the difference, and the relevant, the system is enabled to send messages from the system to the relevant agency that has a difference in the data supplied, for them to provide additional information and additional explanation as to why there's a difference between the values reported by, for example, the company and the values reported by, for example, DPR. The auditor, Neiti in this instance, a deficiency in the information they have provided, and afterwards, they will provide additional information or documentation until the reconciler or auditor is satisfied with the information provided. Now, in addition, the system is enabled for each side. So for example, now, if the data entry person uploads all the information from their own end, let me try and see what log in for with the approver's password. When that happens, the information that has been hosted on the platform by the data entry person can be downloaded by the entity who has that information. So for example, if the data entry person from Ajib's ADAX side uploads all the information, and the approver wants to have a look at all the information submitted by the data entry person, he is able to download that information afterwards. So there's an option for download and export of that same information uploaded by the data editor on the side of either the government agency or the company in this instance. In addition, there will be a more intense training session for all the activities the platform can do for the entities. This will be further explained by the executive secretary subsequently. But the platform, there will be additional training for users of the platform, the admins of both oil and gas companies, upstream companies, and the government agencies will be trained for a certain period on how to use the platform, how to access it, and all of that. So this is a brief presentation, even though not as detailed as we would want it to be for this exercise. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Dieter.
Thank you very much, Abdul. You've taken us through the platform. That was a very, very presentation. We appreciate what you've done so far. Like he said, we will have a training session for these various entry people for each of the companies, which the ES had said. Hopefully, we will send an invite. We'll have a training session so that we can walk you through all the platforms and the various rules and what needs to be done by each and every stakeholder as his roles entails. You have a feel of the system, and before we go live, that will be done. Thank you very much for your presentation, Abdul. And I can see there are so many questions that have been popping in through the chat platform. This is for Q&A now. Please, you can raise your hand if you have any question. I can see that some people have been asking questions. So, Abdul and this thing, we can be able to answer some of them. Can multiple data entry editor log in and enter data at the same time? There's a question from Chukwemeka Kerry.
Can we respond to that immediately?
Yes, we can do a question and answer now.
Okay, yes. So the data entry functions are limitless. That's as far as, say for example, now, if you have 10 staff that you have decided to give the function of data entry persons within your organization, yes, there is no limit to the number of people you can add to help in uploading data on the platform. So it just depends on the system, on your own internal organization. So if you want one person responsible,
you're frozen again, Abdul. So I think yes, we can have multiple. You're frozen. Couldn't hear you, but I think the answer is you can type in the comments. You're frozen. You can type answer to the chat. You can answer the questions through the chat since you're having issues with your.
Okay, but I can hear you clearly, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yes, but sometimes you're frozen.
Okay, sir. Okay, but I said yes, you can have multiple data entry persons and multiple approvers within your system. There's no limit to that.
Okay, thank you. Again, there's another question about can admin also be approver on the platform? Yes, you can have multiple roles. Yeah.
Yeah, so
the
it
admin,
depends on what you have decided to do within your organization. Hello, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, you seem to be, your network is freezing from that end.
Okay.
Dita, I think it might be your own network because it's not freezing from my end.
We can hear you, yes.
I can see him, he's not freezing. So maybe it's your own network. But I think we should go about it this way. Questions have been asked in the text box. Those questions we can look at them and answer them.
So can I respond to some of them?
We can also allow those who want to ask questions because people are raising up their hands. We can also allow them to do that. But let me just say this before we take it back to Abdul. The idea of having 3 different persons within an organization is to institute a form of control that will be within the organization itself. There will be somebody who will be an admin person. There will be somebody who will be an editor, or somebody who will be entering in the data, and there will be somebody who will be approving. We want to make sure that there's proper segmentation of functions, and there's proper authorization before the document is the data is finally uploaded. So that is the logic. If your organization is so big enough that is big enough and your operation is so huge that you need to have multiple people to play each of the roles, fine. If your organization is small to the extent that you can't even afford to have 3 different people to play those different roles, please also discuss with us. But what at your own end, and who also creates passwords and gives people functions to do, and also somebody deals with the data, and somebody reviews and approves before it hits the system. So if you believe one person can perform the 3 roles based on the peculiarity of your organization, that's also fine. If you think you need 10 or 20 for each of the roles, that's also fine. But we want you to take ownership of this. We want you to have control of it. And like he also said, also in case for one reason or the other, there's a compromise, we can also track that and we can quickly correct that. So that's the logic behind this. We all need to know that. So please, Abdul, read through the questions, answer them. Then those who want to also ask some further questions, let them ask and we address them. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Chukwemeka Kerry. He said, can multiple data entry editors log and enter data at the same time? Yes, that provision has been made on the tool so they can enter and log in data. That's the essence of automating the entire. So you can have multiple people across multiple organizations uploading data, entering and uploading data on the platform concurrently. Yes. So next, can admin also be approver on the platform? The ES has, this is in response to Ifeson Mitolu Alao's question. Yes, the ES has responded to that, but the reason why that function has been separated is to ensure that there's some kind of control within the systems, and whatever you decide is the most appropriate for you based on the your organizational structure and whatnot, that will be what will eventually happen on the platform. So the next question is from Olare Iwaju Omonaya Jo. Is the role of approver to checkmate what the data entry person has put in? The response has already been put forth. Yeah, not necessarily, I don't want to use the word checkmate, but it's to ensure that the data provided by the editor is the correct data. So even in the traditional way we collect information using the Excel, we expect that some kind of vetting happens within the organizations before the template eventually arrives at us. So the next one is...
So if I can add to that quickly, the reason for segregation of duties is to ensure quality control within the organization. And we believe that you have mechanisms for doing that in your individual organizations. So that, at least it's not more than one person that is looking at this. And also, it's standard practice that sometimes it's not the person that initiates a process that concludes it. The accountants, will be very familiar with this. You want a situation where roles are separated, are segregated, and you have multiple eyes. So if somebody doesn't catch this, another person will catch this. And you also want to have authorization. For example, if the person that is entering the data is a low level or mid level kind of person, somebody needs to sign off. We want to assume that when you fill the templates, it's not the organs that will fill the templates, but somebody senior has to review and approve before it's sent to us. So that's the kind of thing that we're also trying to do. So, but you understand your organization, and you know how to do it, and you know your peculiarities. So if you want to have 20 people, 30 people, if you want to have just one person, whatever you are comfortable with, please. But we need to understand the logic, or the rationale behind this. Please go ahead, Abdul.
Okay, so the next question is from Babatunde Olanyo. I think he's from DPR, and he's asking if they can upload data into the template instead of inputting them one by one. At present, the tool is not designed to collect information or harvest information from an Excel sheet that has already been populated with data. But this is something that can be looked into, but this is not the case currently. So at present, one has to upload the information on one by one. But the platform as is currently structured, all you need to do is just copy the information from the Excel and really place in the spaces provided on the platform. But this is something that we will look at after this. We'll talk bilaterally and see what can be done about that. Then the next question is from Adanini or Zavehi from Exxon. Can we have temporary user ID and password access to be tested on the site in the interim? Yeah, I think this is what we would want to happen. We will have arrangements for that would happen. And the training that is going to come subsequently for the covered entities, in this instance, companies and government agencies, will make us give you access earlier on so that you will start troubleshooting and testing the system. And we have done this in the past, if you remember, sometime in August, where we shared access to the platform and had some feedback from some of the entities. Then Solomon or Yem, can one person perform all the roles? The ES has already explained this. It is, but this is still dependent on the understanding or the organizational's approach to providing information. So if the ES has already shed a lot of light on this, quality control, ensuring more than one eye sees what is happening, a whole lot of reasons why you should have more than one person. Because especially with data entry, when you do this consistently, there's a likelihood information will be staring you in the face, but you still miss it because this is something you have been on for an extended period of time. So yes. Exactly. So Azaveh Adanini added some kind of explanation to the reasons why you should have multiple people providing information and looking at the information provided on the platform. Tunde has asked similar questions to
Hello, Abdul. You are frozen. Hello. Dita, are you there?
Yes, sir. I think it's frozen too. So let me.
Okay.
I think
there's a question on use of there have been series of questions on uploading data from Excel. Please we'll look into this, but let's look at it this way, right? Presently, we send you a template. You fill in the templates, despite that you have your own spreadsheet in your system already. So what we are now saying is that instead of you filling the templates we are sending to you, please, fill it online. Don't fill it manually. So if it's, so what we're doing is not radically different from what is done for now, but we also see the possibility of maybe you can, especially if the Excel is configured in the way the information on the what's it called, on the platform is configured. Because there's a possibility that people will say, oh, we already have this information, just take it. No, we're not asking send us information. We're saying there's a template which might not be in the same format as what you have in your Excel, and it's not for us to now be extracting what you have in your own system. So yes, we might get to a point where people can fill in on their own system and just go and upload it, right? We can get there, but for now, it's just a slight modification on what already exists, which is we send you a template. There's a template you fill and send to us. You don't just download what you have in your system and send it to us. But we look into it. This question has been asked a number of times. We look into it and see how, and I think maybe a meeting point will be, somebody does something in Excel, but in a way that mirrors what is on the platform. And then they can write a program that will make sure that once you just upload that, but not that you do your own spreadsheet in a different format that you use in reporting within your organization, and just say, this, if you just take this attachment and go and be fishing it out yourself. I don't think that's the way it works. But like I said, we'll look into it. We're also going to do workshop where we look into different things, and it's also better when people meet together, and have more time, to spend on these things. And like I also said at the beginning, is a work in progress. Everything is a work in progress. Let's take it from the computers that we use, the software that we use. They do regular upgrades, updates, including things like WhatsApp. They will say, oh, there's a new this thing now. Please, you need to update your system and all of that. So this is going to be applicable no matter how what you do in designing a system. You won't begin to figure out things to be fixed until you start using them. So we shouldn't wait until we have a perfect system or platform before you start using them. We start using them and things will crop up and you attend to them. That's also why I said, don't let us make the good the enemy of the best, right? Start with what you have, test it, improve on it, and we'll take it from there. Okay, Abdulmumine, you can take it from there. Hello, Abdulmumine.
Sorry, yeah, so I can hear you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so a question by Michael on vulnerability test. Yes, that has happened, but Development Gateway will shed more light on that. Mr. Gerald? Or Vanessa? Okay, if they are not closed, this is the last question I've seen from my end.
I might need to unmute Gerald. Let me see if I can get him.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, we can hear you, Gerald.
Carry on.
Yes, our internal quality assurance team has done extensive tests on this, and the configuration on the server, as you've noted, uses HTTPS, which is a secure. It's a mechanism for securing communication between the end user and the server. That's it.
Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Gerald.
Abdul, I would like to add to that also that we are going to add also the two-way authentication factor that will be added to the platform. But as Gerald said, the HTTPS, if you look at the URL to actually log in into the system, you will see that the HTTPS protocol has been activated, which is actually the secure socket layer mechanism. And we have another one also that will be activated in the upcoming days. Just wanted also to reassure everybody that Neiti put a huge emphasis on security, and the security that needs to go with the data that you will be inputting into the system, and all security mechanisms that we can do on our end have been securely activated as well.
Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Sure.
So, hello, can you hear me? Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Adanini from Exxon had some opinion about the upload that is either monthly or annually, and the Excel versus the monthly input on the platform. And I think that is a good observation as well. So that discussion about how regular the information will be uploaded on the platform will happen subsequently. Then
Hello, Abdul. Okay, Abdul seems off again from my side.
Yeah, from here too, he's off.
Okay, but in terms of the questions, please, Director Technical, the guys from Development Gateway, Vanessa and Gerald, and any other person that can, address any of the issues, should please answer. There's one that Vanessa has answered about whether if you upload, whether you can correct an error in an uploaded document. Yes, that is true.
Yes.
Also, the issue of security has been addressed. Also, what's it called? The instantaneous feedback system. I think the system also has that functionality, and I think maybe they can talk more about that.
hello. Okay.
There's also a question about would there be a provision for parallel running of existing and virtual systems side by side, at least in 2020, for smooth transition? Yes, if we want, but we don't want to create double work for you. Let's look at it this way. This is November 2020. Payments have been made for some months in this year, and payments have been received. Right. After this event, we're going to have workshop. Where the team will go in a more granular version, walk you through everything, and you come up with different scenarios, and you try your hands on things and make sure that if you have observations, they can also be incorporated. Then by the first week of December, which is right like a month from now, we're going to open the platform. So first week of if you have, for example, you have data for payments that have been made for 3 quarters of 2020, right? You start putting it in, and if everything goes well, there's no need to still have a manual one on as a parallel. You understand what I'm saying? If it works well with the information that you have, because we're not even, by the time we open so what we're trying to do now is to separate the data gathering from the reconciliation of the data. So once you have once it's opened once the workshop has been done, and all of that, and you know how to use it, and you figure out some of the issues around it, and you start using it, and it's opened in December, and you have the information for at least 9 months in the year. If you're able to do that successfully, you don't need to say, okay, let's have this let's have the manual one as a transition. The transition might not be as difficult as we envisage, but let's try it first. If you try it and there's an issue, then we can now say, okay, let's have this as a backup. But we don't want to, from the get-go, create double work for you to say, go to the portal, go and fill it in, go and fill in the information, and at the same time, we'll still send you template that you're going to fill manually. So it also defeats the essence. And because we have time to test, we have time to improve on things. I think it's actually should be more seamless. Those are the questions I can see, but Abdulmumini and others can also. But let me say this: there's going to be a workshop. Let me say two things. One, there's going to be a workshop where the people that will use this will be the ones in the room with the technical people from us and from our own side, right? And you go through this together, and we'll make sure that everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what to do. And if we need to do this meeting physically, we'll do that to make sure that people have opportunity for proper interaction. We just make sure that we obey all the COVID-19 protocol. But if it can be done virtually, we also do that. So that is one. The second thing is that we have time. We have time to stress test this and see how it goes. And like I said, it will not affect. But please don't let us take on the position of trying to resist, a transition. Let's be open-minded about it. Let's see how to make it work. At the end of the day, it's going to be for the benefit of everyone. So, like I also said, you cannot know what the issues are until you start using it. So let's start using, and on the basis of that, we'll start figuring out what is there, what needs to be fixed. And if for one reason or the other, we'll say, don't forget that the 2020 audits will not be due until the end of 2021, or even longer than that. So we have time to figure out what needs to be fixed, how to fix them, and whether we need to have a backup or not. So thank you so much. But I think we're on to something here, something that will make life easy for everybody. The beginning might be a bit bumpy, but by the time we get to cruising altitude, everything will be okay. Other questions or comments or response from other people?
I think we've exhausted. Virtually all the questions. And like the ES said, we'll have a training session where we'll go granular with all of these things. Yeah.
Hello.
Gerald?
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is Oza from ExxonMobil. The ED mentioned that we are looking at probably getting the data in for first Q 2021, which I think is okay. But I would like to observe that a lot of us will be doing year-end activities the whole of January. We're already almost in December. We still have to trade a lot of data input people to be able to get the input in. I hope that the first Q 2021 target will be a bit flexible. I'm just hoping that.
Okay. Mr. Thank you so much. Look at what we do presently. I just want us to be on the same page. What we do presently is that when we start this process, we'll send you the templates, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll give you a 1-month deadline to return the templates to us. That's what happens in most instances, right? So what I'm saying is that, if we say we want all the data for 2020 to be in by the end of the first quarter, that's the end of March 2021. Yes. So what that means is that people have between December and end of March, which is 4 months, right? So you can do it at your own pace. If you say, we don't want to do anything the fact that it's open in December doesn't mean you have to do it in December, but it's open for people might have that opportunity. you might want to wait until February before you start doing your own. But what I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying that is that if you already have data for some parts of the year, don't wait until you have the complete data, because some of this data will be on monthly basis. There are some that will be on annual basis. Yes, those ones you can wait until like maybe. So I'm just talking about, you know, I'm giving my own, the way I like to work. I don't like working close to deadline. I like to do my own things in advance, so that, you know, I have opportunity to revise, you know, to you know, to pace myself, so that when the deadline comes, it's easy on me. So effectively, what we're saying now is that for 2020 audit, instead of filling the templates in 1 month, you have 4 months. And you can go, you know, you can do it in batches. You can go save it and go back. You can do it if you have the data for, let's say, the first quarter of 2020, right? You can say, okay, I just want to fill the one for January, February, and March 2020, and I will leave it when I have time. So that is also the flexibility that automation introduces, right? So, and this is the one for 2020, because this is what we're going to use to test run this. For subsequent years, you can be decided that if you have the information for January in February or March, you just fill it. That one is done. You move on. So you do it at your own pace, at your own convenience, you know, and all of. So if you have 4 months to play with, right, rather than 1 month, I think that is flexible enough, including accommodating the fact that you need to close things for the year. You don't have to do it in December. You don't have to do it in January. But please do it. Imagine if we had given you the manual templates in February, and we say we want it at the end of March, you would have given it to us. So I just want us to, you know, I don't want it to appear as if we're trying to push back. You know, please, we should make this work, and we'll also be reasonable on our own side. If there's need for flexibility, we'll do that. You know, like I said, it's a work in progress. You will never know how things are until you start using them. You know, and once we start using them, you know, maybe many things will work well. Some might not work so well, and we fix them. So we're here to work on it. You know, it's not just that we're even going to have like a help desk, you know, so that if there are issues, we know that these are the people to call. This is, you know, and that, you know, things like that. You know, yes, somebody said on deadline, PPT returns is due by May. That's yes, there are certain things that are annual. There are certain things that, like, for example, if we say we want your AFX, we note all of those things, and we can be flexible about them. But the point we're trying to make is that you don't have to wait until you have your AFX before you fill the information that you have. You don't have to wait until the deadline for PPT before you fill the others. So if you fill the others, and when it gets to that point, you just fill that one that you have. You know, the 2020 audit will be released, the report will be released in 2021, but you have time, whether it's May, whether it's June, your AFX is ready or your PPT returns is ready, is okay. But do the ones that you can do on time so that you can save time to go and do some other things.
Hello, sir. Thank you very much for your response. This is Jose again. The key word I wanted to hear, you have mentioned it, sir. You said there's a bit of flexibility, which is good enough for me. My own suggestion, why I brought it up, is just because, you know, it is new. What we do in Exxon is that we don't wait for Neiti to send us the templates before we populate. Any changes that needs to be made based on the New Year's template, we now accommodating. That's why we, you know, try to submit as early as possible.
That's the way I like to work
just
too.
say, yes. Yes.
But
so
you know, we're in this
me,
together.
In Exxon, I'd already mentioned to my people. That there's going to be a change in the way we report Neiti. I suggested to them to be using their 2019 templates to be gathering their 2020 informations down. So, you know, we are working with you. I'm just observing that because it's new, we may not, you know, meet the
I understand that. And also,
perfectly.
we're also cognizant of the fact that all organizations are not the same. While ExxonMobil is planning ahead, Some, might not have that luxury, right? And we're here to work with all of you. And please note that we're partners in this. This is not in any way designed to make life difficult for people. It's actually to simplify things for you. And like I said, we're going to be, holding our hands together. You hold our hands, we're going to hold your hands, and to make sure that, it works seamlessly to the point where we get to that cruising level, altitude, that everything is just, it's like a break. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Good day, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Solomon Oyema. I just want further clarification on. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I see one further clarification on this data and approval. This audit cut across both technical and finance. Can we have multiple approvals for various departments? Because somebody in finance cannot review what somebody in technical has done for him to approve. So I don't know if you can seek.
Mr. Solomon, the short answer is yes. This is not like, okay, it has to be the same in every organization. No two organizations are the same. Don't forget that we're not dealing with only IOCs. We're also dealing with NOCs. So, and each organization has, apart from the fact that you have different departments, there's the one about finance, there's one about technical or operations. You also have different sizes, different structures, and all of that. So that's why we have created that role of admin. There's an administrator who is from your organization, who knows the peculiarity of your organization and the complexity of your organization and how many roles they need to create. So it's left to you. It goes back to the question that somebody asked. Can somebody play the whole role? Yes. This is the logic for creating different roles. Can many people play different roles? Yes. Once you understand, we're giving you we want you to own that, to say for our own organization. Some organization will say, oh, this is too much work. Somebody is doing a finance, somebody is doing, why can't we? And another organization will just say, okay, that's what can work for us, So please, your administrator or your organization will decide how many people do we want to put on this. That is one. Somebody asked a question about physical workshop will be better, but can we put it in batches because of COVID-19 protocol? Absolutely, that can be done. So please, Director Technical, note that if, for example, I want to do this, we can decide on the number we want to take in the first batch, in the second batch, and subsequent batches. So make sure that
we'll note that, sir.
People are safe. Yeah.
Yes, sir, it's noted, sir.
Oludari has asked a question, sir.
Hello.
Oludari
Atuki. Yes.
Good afternoon.
It's the same thing. Somebody asked of it before about whether it's PPT returns, whether it's tax and audit returns and all of that. The point we're making is this. That's not the only information that you are providing. The one that need to wait, you provide them when they are ready. And also maybe the development gateway people and the technical people can correct me. In case you have also, it doesn't mean that the information you submit, let's say you have information for the first quarter of 2020 now, and you want to put it in when the platform opens in December. It doesn't mean that if for one reason or the other, that information changes, that you cannot go back to change it. It's not like, oh, whatever you put in there is forever locked down. It's not that we'll start using it immediately until all the information for the year comes in. You understand? But Abdul and others can correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes,
you're correct, sir.
For example, production. Maybe after reconciliation between DPR, and NNPC and the ministry and the entities, sometimes they revise the production figures. So, either upward or downward. So if there was one that you use on the basis of the information that you had, by the time you have, at the time you are making you are entering the data, yes, when it changes, you can go back and change it, and you can, but there will be a trail. It's only the person that is allowed to do this that will be Okay, somebody also said they would prefer both. They would prefer online training because of their colleagues in locations. We can have a combination of online and physical training. For example, this thing that we are doing now, we can have a few people in a room, right, that are physically present, and we can have people who log in and join from their various locations. Look at FEC meetings, for example. That's the Federal Executive Council meeting. The president hosts this every Wednesday with a few ministers inside. Or some are outside, but they can log in. So we can look at that, or we can also do it this way. The people who prefer physical will do that. The people who prefer virtual will do that. So it's something we can work on. That's not a problem.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good morning where we are, but good afternoon all the same, sir.
Okay. My name is Lario Lemon from Network. I work with Network Exploration.
Good afternoon. We can hear you.
Yeah, my question is, you said, from what I've heard, you said that you would like us to input, start, loading this data by first quarter 2021. So what I want to say that means before we can, start logging in and make sure the data for first quarter is entered. That means we have to have, finished with all these, create all this admin, editor, and approval, and of course, make sure the workshop has been done before we can start doing that. So we can start now because we actually, have a little ample information and idea about this right now. We need to have more knowledge before we can start, inputting the data. And from now to first quarter 2021, you just look at it, it's not that long. By the time we enter 2021, it's short. So we need to then start preparing for the workshop and all that so that we can, start making use of this platform. That's my question.
Okay, thank you very much. The workshop will happen in the next 2 weeks or before the end of this month, and which is the workshop is not rocket science. Is what Abdul was doing the other time to walk people through, and people can also try their hands on it and all of that. And like he also said, each organization, there's an admin that will have been created, but you need to advise us. There are 3 roles. The most important one is the one for the admin. This is a person that, or we can create, something for admin and send to you. Then your admin, whoever is your admin, will log in with that password and change their password at the moment they log in. Is your admin that will create the roles for the others. So.
Okay, excuse me. Do we need to send you the admin name or? Okay.
Okay, I will allow Abdul to answer that, but let me just finish. Please, bear with me. Let me finish what I'm trying to say. We do the workshop this month, and once the workshop is done, right, the platform will be open. And those who want to start using the platform immediately from the first week of December can start using it. They can start inputting the data that they have for part of 2020 already. If they want to wait until next year, they can do that, right? So it's not. Don't let us complicate what is not complicated. The training will be done this month. The issue of admin and other role players will be sorted out. The platform will be open for use by first week of December. Those who want to use it that time, they can use it. Those who want to wait until February to start using it, they can do that. But the proposal is that for those who want to use it, and for the data that you have already, at your own pace, at your own convenience, input the data. The ones that are not ready, when they are ready, you input them. Don't wait until the last minute before you start inputting everything. But if you think for your own organization, what works for you is that you want to wait until March to start imputing the information that you have for 2020, it's okay. If you say, okay, something is not ready until May, that can come in when it's ready. If you say AFS is not ready until June or July, when that is ready, you attach it. So, the point I'm trying to make is that we want to have the data in by 31st of March 2021. The ones that are ready. If there are some, and we know that some will be ready by that time. If there are some that are not ready, you let us know, and we'll factor that in. So that's it. It's not like we're saying you should wait until end of Q1 2021 before you start putting the data. No, the platform will be open by the first week of December for use for those who want to use it. For those who want to say, okay, we have time, they can wait. But what we're saying is that before, we'll tell you the audit process has started, we'll send you the templates, and we'll say, please return this template within 1 month. What we're saying is that you have the flexibility or the opportunity of 4 months to do all of this, including we know that this is a new thing, people need to get used to it, people need to sign on and all of those things to get used to their roles and all of that. That's why we're giving this flexibility.
So can I continue from here?
Yeah,
sir?
go ahead.
Yeah, so in addition to what the ES has said there, the admin function, that's the admin that is going to be domiciled in the organizations, is going to be created by us and sent to you. And you have the option of, actually it's provided on the platform, to change the password that we created when we were creating the admin initially and take it from there. So afterwards, all the explanation the ES has provided with regards to who you are going to assign a role or responsibility within your organization will be entirely in your hands. That's the plan. So I have posted my email on the platform. So the individuals that we have, each entity has decided to make admin in their organization will be sent to my email. I'll harvest all of that and create the admins and send these emails to the individuals that have been created as admins, so that they can log onto the platform and change the password and continue from there. That's so the initial admin is going to naturally be created by us. This happens across all platforms, banks, PayPal, every platform that you use. The initial, then afterwards you will just log on and take up there. So yes, supply the names, email address, the full details of the individual we want as admin for our organizations. Then we will do all that creation and send this detail to those emails so that they can log on and take up from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello. Am I on? Can I talk?
Yes, you are on, sir. Carry on.
Please, I am calling from Bayelsa NGOs Forum. Hello? Hello?
Yeah,
hello?
I can hear you. Yeah, we can
Hello.
hear you.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, my point is this. This whole interaction here, it sounds more like a business between the Neiti office and oil exploration companies or government agencies. The discourse, I don't really have a very clear sense of belonging as a civil society person that is supposed to also be part of this platform and do my independent monitoring observations and do advocacy where necessary. So I think clarifications are needed in this direction.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Otubu also.
Opia, Mr. Opia.
Mr. Opia, thank you very much. This is the Executive Secretary of Neiti on the line. Please, if you got invitation to be part of this, it was sent to you in error, and I want to apologize for that. This is a meeting between the people that supply data to Neiti. That's company entities, companies that fill data to Neiti to say these are the payments we have made, and government entities that also receive payments on behalf of government. So this meeting is strictly between them and Neiti. This platform is also strictly between them and Neiti. So yes, there are some other areas for civil society to be involved in this process, but it's not at the data gathering stage. Is not the civil society is not involved in filling the templates either from companies or from government. The civil society will be involved on issues that, okay, when we have the information and we have done and please correct me if I'm wrong as a civil society person, we don't invite civil society into we don't set templates to civil society to fill. We don't invite civil society to come and look at the templates that people have filled. We have an independent auditor that we appoint, that when the templates are in, the independent auditors will do a review of the templates with our technical department and see whether there's discrepancy or not in what the companies are saying and what the government agencies are saying. The independent auditor will also ask them for validation, for evidence of the information that they have. For example, if somebody say we pay this, they will say, okay, give us the receipt, give us the SWIFT code, and all of that. That's what we call validation. Then they will also, if there are discrepancies, we have something we call reconciliation. All of these processes take place between the people who are making payments and people who are receiving payments. It's when we have done all of that that we have a report that the auditors will present to us and to our board. And when it's approved, that is the point at which we begin to do engagement to say, this is the report for this year. These are the findings. These are the recommendations. Then we begin to sensitize, popularize the report, sensitize people, share the reports, and also do advocacy on issues that needs advocacy. So please, somebody sent this to you in error. And that is why we didn't ask people to register. We actually sent invitation to companies and government agencies that are involved with data gathering. We have done 11 oil and gas audit reports. There was never a time when in the data gathering, the data that civil society, the companies will be submitting and the government agencies will be submitting, that we involve civil society. And this is not just Nigeria. This is how EITI works across the world. So please note this. There will be many opportunities for engagement, for sensitization, for training, for remediation. Check this meeting. The media is not even invited into it. The media is not invited. Civil society is not invited. National Assembly people are not invited, because this is strictly a platform for people who supply us information and us. This is not a platform for public. We have a website. When the information is ready, it will be available to the public. But this is just, they used to send off templates manually. Now we are creating a platform for them to send us the templates electronically or digitally. That is what this is about. This is not we have not got to the stage of the audit yet. We're still at the stage of data gathering. So thank you so much. Like I said, this was sent in error, and I apologize to you for receiving this in error. I also apologize to our partners because we also made them to understand that this is strictly a meeting between those who will be using the platform and us. Thank you.
Okay. Because
thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, I said before I go, it's a good one, but this meeting is captioned unveiling of Neiti audit management system. That caption alone, I feel citizens should have a clear picture of what it's really about. And then secondly, from those, especially those of us that operate from the downstream, operating within the environments where oil exploration is really taking place physically, I think it's not completely out of place if we have an idea, if civil society or citizens have an idea what this unveiling is all about. we may not be
okay.
involved.
Mr. Opia, right?
Yes.
We have a series of events for civil society, and one of the things that we're going to incorporate in further engagement with civil society is for us to let them know that this platform, this is what it does, and the necessary information that we need to share with you. But all this is about creating admin, what information to put, how to go about it, what the deadline is, and all of that is strictly, we've had you, and we've noted the comments that you made, but this is not a public event. I'm sorry, and I apologize for that you got this in error. So please, thank you very much. If there are no other questions or comments, I would suggest that the time has been well spent, and we should move on to this item on the agenda. Director Technical, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Quite noted. Thank you very much. Like the ES said, we've spent some time on this, and it's time well spent. Thank you very much for your patience and everything. We've taken some notes about what your concerns had been on those things, on the training, on the timelines, on Excel upload, and all these things. We'll collate them and get back to you with all of these things. And before then, like we said, the ES had mentioned would have we'll soon have a training session for the stakeholders in terms of the roles and everything to walk you through the platform in detail, which we'll do in the next couple of weeks. We'll have that. And like I say, it's not going to be a one-off training. It's going to be handheld and hold each other to see that.
Dita, you're cracking,
Get
hello, Dita.
We really appreciate your patience. We still have up to 90-something people on this platform now. I think it's very, very good. Hello, Director of Communications. Can you please, for the vote of thanks, please? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Technical. And I would like to thank, on behalf of the Executive Secretary and our project team members, including our partners, the Development Gateway, to thank us so much for being part of this ceremony. I actually begin by conveying our apology for any challenges posed by poor network. Our presentation, the presentation by my colleague, Abumuminu, had to do with a lot of challenges because of poor network. It's one of the consequences of COVID-19 that makes it difficult for people to gather. So we ask that you take this in good faith. We could continue to improve. The launch of Neiti Audit system, management system, is another milestone for us in Neiti because we have this challenge of every effort to free ourselves from the analog operations and embrace fully a digital process to automate our engagements with covered entities, including our audit process. And on that note, I would really like to thank the Executive Secretary for his leadership on this. He saw this as a project and for which most of us believe was a very huge elephant. We demystified it, and here we are today. We have a platform to at least begin this process. Like he said in his opening remark, it's not a perfect platform. There are a lot of hitches here and there, but we'll keep improving by the day, and then we do hope that we'll find it user-friendly to make our process more efficient, make our process faster, user-friendly, and error-proof. This is our goal. This is our objective. This is our destination. On that note, I would like to thank over 97 of us that hooked onto this platform for this unveiling ceremony, in spite of some challenges. We're grateful that we all attended, listened, and exchanged views. The comments that have been received will be analyzed by this secretariat and then resolved in due course. I particularly like to thank the former member of our board and our representative of the OPTS, Mr. Bumi Toyobo, for finding time to be with us. He's always very committed to whatever Neiti is doing, shares a lot of knowledge and insights in our operations, and his participation today is another testimony of his commitment to work with us to make us better. We also like to thank our development partners, Development Gateway. Madam Vanessa and her team deserves a lot of commendation. I particularly thank also my colleague, Director Technical, and his team, the project team, including Abulmumini, who made the presentation, and all others in the project team, too numerous to mention, for their commitment to make this particular project a huge success. It's difficult for me to identify who is who among the 97 of us that have spent time on this morning. But please, wherever you are, whoever you are, what your position, the companies you represent, the covered entities, please accept our appreciation. But far more important is the fact that we must work together to make this platform useful to make our process better and more efficient. That's just the goal. It doesn't make sense that we develop a platform that will not be used. If you see any complaint or any user difficulties, please, it's our duty to work together to resolve it. It will only make meaning when this platform becomes a very busy platform, and that makes our process better and more efficient. On that note, and on behalf of the Executive Secretary, once again, the management and staff of Neiti, thank you very much for the participation, and thank you for the various and valued contributions. Thank you so much. I don't know whether I was received.
Yes, we heard you. Thank you very much.
Hello?
Thank you.
We heard you. We can see you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello.
So, DTech, over to you, please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. I think we should bring the event to a close. The vote of thank has been given, and we wish everybody, we thank everybody for coming and wish you good luck in your various operations, and see you again. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Congrats. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Tapi Pak Awi ended